We all love our big luxury vehicles, but the reality is buyers are looking for things that are more practical, more economical, and ultimately more affordable, which is why it's so important for our luxury manufacturers to produce things that fit into smaller size segments. Now, it's been about 2 years since we first featured the Mercedes-Benz A-Class, and today we've got a different build than we had before. This, my friends, is a 2021 Mercedes-AMG A 4matic Hatchback. Now, this vehicle is not sold in the United States. You can only get the A-Class sedan, but we have the hatchback up here. Base price for this, $49,800 Canadian, as tested $53,000 even. But I would configure this quite a bit different. I would say that this is very lightly equipped. We only have one package on this. That is the $3,200 premium package, which adds some important things like blind spot assistance, vehicle exit warning, keyless go, Qi wireless charging, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, active park assist, Sirius XM, and interestingly, the Burmester audio system. However, it doesn't have any of the other safety tech or enhanced tech that we would like to see on this. So there's no active cruise control, there's no lane keep assist. You could add things like a head-up display, 360-degree camera, ventilated front seats, navigation, and HomeLink. So you can get this thing up quite a bit more. So test drive style, we'd be adding about another $7,000 worth of options to bring this up to about $60,000 and change. That's quite a bit of money for a subcompact luxury vehicle. Now, why are you going to be considering this AMG? Well, it uses an AMG enhanced 2-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, produces 302 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you were in a market that got the 45 or the 45S, it would have quite a bit more power, but I'd say that this is pretty good for a hot hatchback. It's not just an AMG body kit though. AMG has done a little bit of work to this vehicle. They've strengthened the front end body shell, reducing the torsion and increased the stiffness throughout by adding extra beams and a shear panel to the front of the vehicle. It does feel great on the road. We're going to be talking about that as we take it on the road. Now, this also uses the AMG Speed Shift 7-speed dual clutch transmission. In Europe, I believe you get the 8-speed on that, but we have a 7-speed dual clutch, and again, we'll be talking about that as we go on the road with it. But I like this car. Again, it's not the way that I would build it, especially black. I mean, it looks nice, but there are some funky colors available for the A-Class, so you might as well take advantage of it. And yeah, as a baby AMG, you do want some of the features on it. But I think that this is going to be a great way for new buyers to get into a Mercedes-Benz, targeting more of the younger demographic, probably a little bit younger than me, but people who haven't bought a Mercedes-Benz before. Maybe they have bought a small hatchback that's more on the sporty side. Something like the Volkswagen Golf R would be an ideal candidate to upgrade to this, but some of the other vehicles too that, you know, are more fun to drive than they are practical. So we're going to take this on the road. We're going to talk about why you might be interested in it and everything else you need to know about the 2021 Mercedes-AMG A 4matic Hatchback. I really do like driving cars like this. Yes, you can get bonkers performance, and if you live in Europe, the A45S would probably be pretty crazy. But something like this is just the right mix of performance, sportiness, and daily driving ability. It's not anything to get you into too much trouble. 302 horsepower is pretty good, and 295 pound-feet of torque. The dual clutch transmission works great. I love using it in manual shift mode, and because this is a baby AMG, I keep it in Sport Plus all the time. Now, we do have manual shift mode on, and I've turned off the traction control. It is in ESP off. Now, if you push it once, it'll go into sport mode, but ESP off will allow us to have a little bit more fun. But I like driving these cars because you don't get into too much trouble, and you know, it's affordable enough, I guess. At $53,000 or about $60,000 Canadian if you go full out test drive style, it is quite a bit for a subcompact luxury car. And this isn't going to be the vehicle you're going to buy if you have a family. Yes, my kid fits in the back without any issue, and I can also get in and out of the back without too much trouble for the size segment, but it's obviously not ideal. And the fact that this is, you know, a little performance rocket, you know, the ride does get compromised a little bit. You do feel a little bit more of the road. It's to be expected. But oh, listen. Oh, I love it. sounds so good from a little engine like this. The little pops and crackles from the exhaust are great. If you shift it right at the red line, it gives you a nice sound. And if you downshift, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I love it. That's what I like about these cars, is you can have so much fun even though you're not going overly fast. You're not spending a ton of money in fuel. That's what's great about this segment. And it's so smart for Mercedes to have something here. You know, you've got the Audi S3 and RS3, that BMW 235, I suppose. Yeah, the Grand Coupe there exists, but you know, this is kind of the middle point. It's got the luxury, it's got the tech, it's got the stuff that you really want. It's a little sporty, and I'd say probably the BMW is going to be a little bit more on the sport side, but it's a good balance. Oh, and just so good. Love that sound. It's really nice. Take it from a dig here. Oh, 100. Not blistering speed there. I did use launch control and it shifted for me automatically, and it shifted way too early at like 5,000 RPM. But you can see, it's supposed to get about 4.7 seconds, 0 to 100 kilometers. That's probably pretty close. Yeah, the engine is warm. Tires aren't the best. We're still on winter tires here, but still, you know, are you going to get 4.7 every time? Maybe. You don't really need to get that quick though, because you're going to have fun no matter what. This segment is really important for the luxury automakers, and it makes sense for Mercedes to have a pretty big portfolio when it comes to this, because it is using their front-wheel drive small vehicle platform that shares the same A-classes we're driving, but the CLA, GLA, and GLB. You have some options depending on what you ultimately want out of a vehicle. Personally, I love this. It's nice and low to the ground. Performance is good. Handling is excellent. Very close to go-kart-like experience that you would want because of the way that the car is built and set up. Yes, it's a front-wheel drive platform, but if you have it in sport mode like we have here, you're going to be getting a little bit more of a sporty feel, closer to a 50-50, but for the most part, it's going to be like 80-20, with most of the front being the drive factor. But still, oh buddy, it's so fun. Oh yeah, you can feel it though. That's the one thing, and I feel this more, I guess, in this car than some of the other vehicles that I've driven. Like, you can feel that the car is more pulling you than it is pushing you. That's the best way that I can describe front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, because the rear wheels will kind of push you forward, whereas the front-wheel drive is pulling you. The wheels are in front of you. You can feel that a little bit more with this vehicle, but it doesn't take away from the experience. It's giving you a different experience when it comes to a Mercedes-AMG. Yes, you lose out on some of the features, especially if you configure it this way. You do have a little bit higher road noise and road feel than you would in other Mercedes vehicles, but it is that stepping stone for new buyers to get into the brand, a way for people to be able to afford a Mercedes if they couldn't get into a C-Class because the prices just keep going up. This is a good avenue for Mercedes to get new customers, new business, and ultimately have more people getting involved in their brand. Because I'm telling you right now, if you've written off the A-Class because it's an A-Class, oh buddy, you need to try this.